Needy Streamer Overload is a game that I've seen being lumped into the "I can fix her" category. Games of this type feature a mentally ill girl, often considered to be pretty or cute. The phrase "I can fix her" refers to the idea that by dating her, it's possible to fix her mental illnesses and live happily ever after together. I'm not trying to call out anyone who thinks this as being a bad person. I do, however, mean to say, no, you can't fix her, because you are a part of the problem. This game is more than just a colorful streamer simulator or a scary horror game. It is a story, rich with commentary on the nature of relationships and change. The idea of fixing her is completely missing the entire point of the game's message. Throughout this video, I'll be making a case for this, so spoiler warning for the game, as I will be talking about the endings, and a content warning for mental illness and self-harm. In case you've never played the game, Ame is a young woman who wishes to become a streamer and reach 1 million followers within 30 days. You are P-chan, her perfect helper, who must guide her through this journey, along the way managing her stress levels, affection for you, and mental darkness. The game divides the day into 3 parts: daytime, evening, and night. During the daytime and evening, you can do activities that help manage Ame's stats, such as spending time together, going out to different parts of town, or taking medication. These activities also inspire ideas for her nighttime streams, during which Ame transforms from the gloomy, pessimistic person she is normally into a bright star, the streamer K-Angel. Over the course of 30 days, you amass followers and experience the internet in all its glory and debauchery. There are over 25 endings to the game based upon Ame's stats and the number of followers that you have. They range from kinda okay to downright horrible. The game encourages you to try to reach multiple endings, because in each ending and playthrough, you learn more about Ame and what kind of person she is. You also get to see how her relationship with the player P-chan evolves, as well as her relationship with the internet and society. Throughout the course of the game, it is clear that Ame is quite mentally unstable. You will automatically lose the game if you don't respond to her messages 5 times. She feels immense pressure and stress from streaming, which can end up leading to explosive breakdowns. She relies entirely on you, P-chan, to help her survive. These things likely stem from the pressure and trauma faced as she was growing up. She feels as though she needs to be perfect in order to be accepted. In certain endings, it's revealed that Ame is a dropout who never finished school. She doesn't have a normal job that would allow her to support herself either. Streaming is the only way forward. So onwards we must march to an ending that we can hope to be happy with. One of the most striking endings to me is Fallen Angel. From the start, Ame stresses that she wants 1 million followers. This is quite the high hurdle to clear for only having 30 days. If you look at the different types of streams, you'll see an arrow that indicates how many followers you'll gain from doing a particular type of video. Without a doubt, the highest is from sexy streams. If you want to make it to the top, you are sort of forced to do these, as nothing else besides ASMR, which arguably also could be classified as a type of sexy stream, even comes close to the explosive growth that these streams will give to her channel. Sex sells, and that's an undeniable fact, especially on the internet. In order to get famous quickly, you must take advantage of the fact that her audience is a bunch of nerds, who likely have never been with a woman before. But it comes at a cost. As you continue down the path of using Ame's body to grow the channel, the streams gradually become more and more risque. From eating popsicles to bouncing on a yoga ball, the fan service becomes more extreme. Fans respond accordingly and encourage her to do more. Upon the start of the 5th sexy stream, in which Ame promises to make her debut, comes the ending, Fallen Angel. The game's final message to you is people can't live on lust alone. Now here's where you might be tempted to interpret this message as being a condemnation of Ame's action, but I implore you to think critically for a moment. I've seen it everywhere. A shocking amount of people criticizing women for selling themselves to the internet. But what about the people who are buying it. Lonely, in need of a guiding hand, and desiring love and attention. These are all things that could describe Ame in her search for fame in streaming. But isn't this also what describes a viewer? From the start, Ame's channel has been under the persona K-Angel, an angel descended from the stars as a gift to the nerds. Fans exclaim that for once in their life, they feel accepted by someone, as Ame whispers sweet nothings into the microphone. People grow attached to her, fall in love, and all of the above. That ending message, people can't live on lust alone, isn't to her, nor to you as P-chan. It is to you, the player, and the viewer. It is you who cannot live on lust alone, which makes thumbnails like these all the more ironic. In some sense, we cannot fix her, because we are just like her. This whole playthrough and ending is such an excellent showcase of parasocial relationships and the sick nature of the internet. Parasocial relationships are defined as one-sided connections that people form with media personalities, such as celebrities or fictional characters. But I would also argue that Ame looks at the audience in the same way. They're not real people. They're just words on a screen to give her validation. In fact, not just this ending, but also several of the other endings share this similar fate of Ame being in some way devoured by the masses. Instead of drowning in love, it could be hate. I think the most literal exploration of parasocial relationships is the cultist ending, in which Ame literally forms a cult out of her viewers. Altogether, I believe this to form the game's first major thesis, that in order to be a healthy person, you must ditch the desire for genuineness from a backlit piece of glass called a screen. Touch grass instead of glass. This is the reason that I said you are a part of the problem. It is impossible to fix Ame by showering her in love from afar, because that in of itself is the source of so many of the bad endings for her. But wait, you may say, I'm not just some guy from afar, I'm P-chan, her boyfriend. Comment te dire adieu? How to say goodbye to you. If it had not been clear in the other endings, it now hits us like a truck. This is considered to be the true ending to the game, only unlockable when you have completed all other endings. It shows us that Ame is taking control back from P-chan and playing the game herself. She tells us that she wants to try doing it for herself. Throughout the playthrough, she expresses that she's actually having fun, and despite the stress, it's all working out. In reality, she's not just playing the game. She finally, after seeing all the possible endings, learned enough, and decided that she needs to try it, in spite of the potential dangers. In the end, she achieves her goal, with some difficulty, but all on her own, and secret.txt is unlocked. You, P-chan, were always just a figment of her imagination. In the end, you aren't her boyfriend. You are her. All of those things you were doing together was really just Ame with herself and her mind. Hanging out or going on a date relieved quite a bit of stress, not because they were literally with a person, but because Ame was taking time for herself. In comparison, taking drugs in the recommended dosage hardly relieves any stress at all. In this comes the second thesis of the game, that true growth must come from within. This is the second reason that you cannot fix her. The only person who can fix her is herself. Now, granted, that doesn't mean don't go to therapy. No one could ever fix themselves entirely, but it is you who must take the first step. In my mind, it doesn't actually matter what happened after Ame took control. The greatest victory she could get was achieved the moment she took charge of her life and threw herself at the colossal task of bettering herself. Streaming isn't really the goal. It was simply a means to explore herself, to get to know that side of herself better. Her other self besides her and P-chan is of course K-Angel. One detail that I must mention here is her name. In certain endings, Ame will eventually reveal an interesting fact about her name. The game is set in Japan, and in Japanese, Ame has two meanings. The first is what she would like you to think it is. Ame meaning candy, sweet and nice like her streamer persona. On the other hand, the reality is that she was named Ame for rain, gloomy and dark like her offline personality. After every stream, she posts to Twitter as both K-Angel and as Ame, with the tweets often reflecting this split. But after this exploration of herself experienced in the true ending, I can't help but feel that this is not as much of a sore point for her anymore, but rather serves as an opportunity to get to know herself better. I personally find the name Rain to be quite beautiful. Rain can be seen as gloomy, but it is also the source of life from which all plants sprout from. Candy is sweet, but in reality, it is bad for us if consumed too often. As it rains, we are treated to dark skies, but in the end, we grow. And that is the message of needy streamer overload. And with that, I think I said what I want to say about this game. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. I truly appreciate the support. If you would like to support the channel and have your name displayed here, feel free to join the Patreon or the YouTube membership. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.